Toyota's smallest SUV has made the switch to an all-hybrid powertrain across all of its grades and seen some minor tweaks for the model year update. The Yaris Cross competes against the likes of the Nissan Juke and Kia Stonic, but does the hybrid powertrain give it the competitive edge it needs? Let's find out. The Yaris Cross has 4 grades in its lineup, and we're testing the second from the top Urban for this review. The GR is the flagship, but this one would be my pick of the litter because it just has a more balanced features list. However, it is the most expensive option compared to its nearest rivals, and not by a small amount. The update sees a few new additions to the equipment list, including wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, cloud-based sat-nav, an armrest up front, as well as illuminated vanity mirrors, so all good stuff. I do like that the driver's seat is powered and both front seats are also heated. This grade gets an 8-inch touchscreen multimedia display as well as a 7-inch digital instrument cluster. Both of those are on the smaller side for the segment though, with quite a few of its rivals getting 12.3-inch displays. I do like though that you get a coloured head-up display, a 360-degree view camera system, and a powered tailgate. But the full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The Yaris Cross is adorable, compact but well proportioned that it doesn't look too tiny. I love the defined rear end with the LED lights. It's got a lot of personality, and even the black plastic molding around the base of the car doesn't deter. It actually makes it look somewhat tough. The cabin doesn't look premium at all. There's a lot of hard plastics, which is a bit typical of Toyota. I do like some of the trims though. The synthetic leather and cloth upholstery looks quite nice. The technology is on the smaller side, but fairly well placed. It's a pleasant looking cabin. It just has a lack, and it's hard to ignore when you're at this price point. Up front is where you get the most comfort, storage, and just basic amenities. The front seats are pretty comfortable for a longer journey, and I like that they're both heated. The electric controls though for the driver's seat seem a bit counterintuitive to use though. The storage is better than expected for the class, and I like that you get a decent sized glove box, trays up in the dash here and here, as well as 2 cup holders and drink bottle holders in each door. This armrest does feel a bit like an afterthought, and it is new for this model update, but it sits too far forward and too low to be truly comfortable. The media display shares the same system as Lexus, and it's straightforward and easy to use. The touchscreen is responsive, and the wireless Apple CarPlay was simple to connect to, and it maintained a steady connection this week. The sound system can sound a little bit tinny, especially when you're going full pelt on the highway, but is otherwise good. You miss out on a wireless charging pad across all grade levels for the Yaris Cross, which I did miss this week, but you can make up for it with 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket up front. Well, the rear seat is a little bit cozy, but I can fit behind my driving position, and I'm 168 centimeters tall. It is a seat that only 2 adults will be comfortable in, especially on a longer journey. My son was fairly comfortable back here. The only issue he had was that there's no amenities whatsoever, no directional air vents or USB ports. He did mention that the doors are really nice and light to open, which is great, but the window sills sit quite high, so he missed out on a decent view this week. Also, the apertures to this row are quite narrow, which is something to be aware of if you do have to fit a child seat back here. The boot offers up to 390 litres of capacity when all seats are in use, which sits in the middle of its nearest rivals. It's been big enough to easily accommodate my groceries, and I really like the adjustable floor height, temporary spare tyre, and powered tailgate that you get in this grade. All variants of the Yaris Cross share the same 1.5 litre 3-cylinder hybrid powertrain, which produces up to 85 kilowatts of power and 120 newton-meters of torque, which sounds a bit underwhelming on paper, but in practice, it's actually enough for this little SUV to almost feel sprightly. The Urban front-wheel drive has a low combined fuel cycle usage of just 3.8 litres per 100 kilometres, and with its 36-litre fuel tank, you should see a theoretical driving range of up to 947 kilometres, which is really good for an urban trawler. My real-world usage is up on your screen now. That is after doing some longer trips and urban driving, so far I'm pretty happy with that figure. It's not as efficient as what I was hoping, but it's still pretty good. The power delivery is punctual in this, and while it does sometimes sound like it's under stress, it doesn't really translate to real world lag, at least not when it counts. You don't feel like you've got a ton of power in reserve though, but there is enough power to easily keep up in traffic or overtake when necessary. The ride comfort is pretty good. The suspension absorbs the smaller bumps easily, and there's not much rolling cornering. The only comment I would make is that the cabin does get a lot of noise in it, either from road or wind on the highway, or even the annoying electric whirring that happens when you're at lower speeds. So much so that I did put my music on to drown it out. Steering is on the lighter side, but still really responsive, but on a whole, it's just a really easy and fun car to drive. This would be a perfect first car, or one for couples who don't really want anything too fussy. The visibility in this is really good, and you have a solid sense of where the car starts and ends, which makes it easy to maneuver, and that's even before you look at the 360-degree view camera system. It also has a small 10.6 meter turning circle, so suffice it to say, if you have a problem parking this car, it's not the car's fault. The Yaris Cross is covered by Toyota's 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty, but you can extend it up to 7 years if you service through a Toyota service center, which makes it more competitive compared to its rivals. There's a 5-year cap price servicing program where services cost just $255, which is really good, and services are well spaced at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometers, whichever occurs first. The Yaris Cross has a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating from testing done in 2021 and has 8 airbags. It also has a healthy suite of standard safety equipment, including rear cross traffic alert, and new for this model year update is the side exit assist. The adaptive cruise control is pretty well calibrated, and none of the safety systems are intrusive, which I really appreciate, and it has been a while since I've been in a car that hasn't yelled at me. The Toyota Yaris Cross is a light SUV that's going to be your best friend in the city. You really can park this anywhere, and I think people will appreciate the no fuss but responsive handling. It's as cute as a button on the outside, but the cabin doesn't quite reflect its expensive price point. And some of the tech does look a little bit old compared to its nearest rivals, and that's why it gets the score that's on your screen now. But if you're after more information, check out my full written review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you on the next one.